What's poppin', y'all? It's Brother Front and back at it with another Nikke video. And in today's video, we're gonna finally be doing some summons for the brand new Diesel Winter Suites, the first of this year's brand new limited winter units. Now, to be completely transparent with y'all, the only reason why I've taken so long to actually get to finally doing these summons is mainly just because I was kind of on the fence whether or not I wanted to pull for Diesel right away. Like I've said in the previous Nikke video, I do eventually try to get all the limited characters on my account at some point, but there have been occasions where I didn't pull for a certain character their initial go around. Now don't get me wrong, I definitely think that both Diesel and Brid are going to be pretty solid units when it comes to, at the very least, Fire Week raids, like Solo Raid and Union Raid. But other than that, I don't know. Also, I mean, in the meantime, I was also, crewing some summons from the event shop and doing some of my own testing in the Union range with the trial character. Now, to go on a little bit of a tangent here, when it comes to the shooting range and all that stuff, I do hope that next year, one of the quality of life improvements we see actually comes for the shooting range, because I feel like they not only need to give us the ability to be able to have more customization when it comes to the shooting range, but I mean, for example, like, I feel like it's really weird to kind of have, let me go, it's one of the teams I was trying before throwing Diesel in there, so I was trying a bunch of different team comps, but I feel like having like a trial character hard set at 200 is kind of odd, considering that I feel like at the very least it should be capped to either 400 or whatever your actual synchro level is, because obviously in terms of solo raids you're always hard capped at 400, so I feel like even if this was at the very least doubled, it'd be a lot better. But having like it stay at 200 and having to like scope lock my team to level 200 also, just to make the testing more accurate without actually obviously pulling the character for myself, is a bit weird in my opinion. Also, I do hope we also get the ability to actually turn these gears into like overload gears, just to test out certain lines with characters, because I feel like obviously the main thing for Nikke characters is obviously their skills for the most part, and overload just kind of helps add on top of that, or even like supplement some things for that. But I feel like again, just helps out for testing related things, just making it more convenient for the players and have a better idea as to how a character can perform. Now on top of that, the last thing I will say as a quality of life improvement for the shooting range is just the ability to be able to like actually get in depth with the type of stages we can actually tackle. Like I feel like outside of like these elements, for example, or even like these 3 tabs, I feel like there should be like one more, either as a part of like the list of elements or even just the list of different stage options. Just like have like a custom mode where you can set the type of stage you want, either be a boss stage or mob stages. You can set like the element of the stage, you can set the duration, like usual, like pretty much the same kind of customization options here, but also just to have the option mainly more specifically for like the boss stage, for example, to be able to like actually like choose the type of boss that you want to fight. Because obviously for certain characters, like for example like Pierce characters, they're pretty hard to test in the shooting range because the boss stage only has the core to really shoot at and doesn't really have parts that you can take advantage of. So obviously they will still perform well because they're at least hitting the Pierce shots on the core, but in terms of like actually maximizing their damage and getting like a better test of how strong they could be compared to other units, I do wish we kind of had more flexibility with that. But that's enough yapping, that's enough going on a tangent there. I just wanted to kind of say why I was taking a bit of time to get this video out. And unfortunately I didn't take any screenshots of the team comps that I did run, because again, I just hate having to scale my team down just to match the trial character. But Diesel was performing pretty decently. I do think as we're getting to the first multi-year, in terms of her overloads, obviously since she's a DPS, you want to give her elemental on all 4 lines, or all 4 pieces, and then you definitely also want to give her attack as well. Usually attack is always like the second go-to for most characters in the game, if not all, but in think it's definitely more beneficial for someone like Diesel compared to like the average DPS, just because if you didn't see my early analysis video for both the new characters kits, I did say how Diesel has pretty much no self-attack buffs inside of her own kit. She only gives herself a bunch of sustained damage buffs. Ooh, we get the first card on the second multi. So, yeah, so because she doesn't give herself any attack buffs, you definitely want to give her some attack lines, as well as, like I said, pairing her up with just pretty much any attack buffers will definitely be beneficial for someone like her compared to like a DPS that's more selfish and has like a million different buffs that they give themselves. Oh, I did not mean to skip. Yeah, okay, alright. For some reason I thought I was not even close to the SSR, but because I forgot what position it was in. But a Pilgrim spook into Dorothy is kind of sinister, I can't lie. Cannot lie. Will not complain, but man, it does suck that Summer Doro is obviously a limited character, because I would have loved to see her instead, but it is what it is. Could have been a worse Pilgrim. Back-to-back golds. See, I'm telling you, like, I don't know what it is with these 2% rate up banners, but they always treat me better with the SSRs compared to 1%s. But are we going to miss the second 50-50 in a row? I sure hope not. Please, Elysian? Oh yeah. Diesel? Make this nice and easy. There we go. Oh my gosh. Damn, it's a long ass voice line. But we got Diesel. Only took us, what, 3 multis in total. Not bad. I will give her the overload treatment just to see how lucky I can get my rolls on screen this time. But yeah, it is, what, Tuesday today that I'm recording this on December 9th, so Bridge should be coming out either tomorrow or the day after at reset time, so I definitely will summon for her right away just because she is a shotgun unit and I see her going pretty much straight to the shotgun comp, which is always a good team to build for once you actually have it built, because like I said in the past, it pretty much takes no characters that really desire to be on other teams. Just having more flexible burst twos for the shotgun comp is always nice. So we will get this gear leveled up real quick. Now, in terms of other overload lines besides elemental and attack, I would definitely say she really doesn't need too much else. Like, you could definitely just focus for 4 elemental and 4 attack on your pieces and be done with it. But if you wanted like some additional flex lines to go for, obviously max ammo is not bad because she doesn't have any last bullet mechanics. I will say, when it comes to at least ammo in particular, whether you do have any ammo or not is kind of going to decide how you want to build your team comps after the fact, because I feel like if you don't have any ammo lines, you definitely want to pair with the reload speed buffer, so that obviously, you know, she doesn't drop her massive stacks for sustained damage in her skill too. Also, another good flex line would be like crit rate, obviously, because of her skill 1 giving the buff to crit damage. I feel like you can't really go wrong there. Charge speed, I feel like, would be okay. I mean, she already has a 1-second charge time, so I feel like it wouldn't be the biggest difference maker, but I'm sure it'd probably be a little bit of convenience if you did want to go for it. And then before getting to actually doing the overloads, in terms of to her skills at least, in terms of priority, I'd probably say honestly, I think she's definitely one of those characters that probably wants to have all of her skills leveled evenly. But if you did want a priority just because you were low on mats, for example, I'd probably say do the skill 2 first, just because it's giving you the biggest bonus to sustain damage, especially at max level and it stacks for 2 times. You're able to get like over 600%. And then probably her burst skill second, because you do want to make sure you're bursting with her. At least in the few tests that I did, or at least the testing that I did, she definitely was not a unit that you want to have as an off burst, mainly because her damage taken debuff is in her burst, so you definitely want to make sure she's bursting. So I say skill 2 first, and then her burst, and then her skill 1. But again, like I said, you probably want to get those all leveled relatively evenly. Like, probably start off 777 if you can. If you can't do 777 for whatever reason, then probably like maybe even 477 at the lowest, then transition into 777, and then probably 71010. And then of course at the end of the day you want to get them maxed out eventually, so 101010 at the very end. As for me, I'll probably do at least start off with like 71010 because I have a lot of skill mats. But anyways, get into these overload lines. Okay, crit rate second line. Any elemental or attack, charge speed, okay. Not too good. Yeah, defense first line, that's horrible. Max ammo defense, yeah, I honestly don't like any of these, I'm not gonna lie to you. Give these a couple more rolls. Okay, there's elemental on the first line at least. Before ending off the video. Okay, elemental first line. Deal with that for now. It's a third or a 3-line piece, but I mean, crit rate and charge speed, it's okay. Probably would change that eventually anyways. I mean, charge speed, crit rate again. Alright, we'll just leave it like that for now, but that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed these summons. Took us 30 pulls to get Diesel. Hopefully will take us 30 or less to get Brid to come time tomorrow. I'm pretty sure she drops, so expect a video for that. But with that being said, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Helps out as always. Expect some more content for Nikke coming soon, because we should be having solo raid relatively soon as well. I'm sure it'll probably drop, or well, it's on the 11th, so yeah, probably a day after. But it is off UTC, so maybe it's... Yeah, either way, hope you guys enjoyed. It's Brother Frona, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, y'all.